Unfortunately, I think the time has come that my production is slowing down, and I don't know how I feel about it. I have loved pumping, and I had very low expectations for how my exclusively pumping journey would go with delivering a baby via surrogacy and coming home without a baby and pumping. I wanted something that I could focus on instead of focusing on the fact that I didn't have a baby and that I didn't bring a baby home, but rather putting my motherly instinct or time into something. I put it into pumping, and I am so glad that I had an amazing pumping experience and journey so far. My personal goal was like 2 months, and I've exceeded that. I'm now probably about 2.5 months, and I can tell that it is slowing down. Last month was crazy with my father's passing. The day after I found out about my dad passing away, Dan left on a 12-day hunt, and he was gone, and he was like, "Are you sure I'm okay to leave?" I'm like, "Go, you've been planning this for months. This is what you love to do. I'll be okay." But my father's passing, Dan being away, me being on overtime with the kids and with work in the house, and then him coming back, and then him getting pneumonia, Canyon getting upper respiratory infection, and me walking through that healing of losing my dad, that I think it was just a lot on me, and I can tell a lot on my body that it has affected my production. And where I'm at right now is I could totally put in the effort to get my production up. I know how to. It's dipped a little bit the past couple months where I've raised it back up. I can eat more high fiber foods. I can drink more water. I have not been taking my postnatal vitamins or my prenatals. I can pump more often and build that production back up. But the thing is, do I need to, or do I just allow my body to slowly dry up? I think part of me is like, I don't want to let that go. Why am I getting emotional? Oh my gosh. I don't want to let that go. I think because this is like, if this truly is the last time that I'm pregnant, this is like the last part of that pregnancy journey. And it's like, am I done with it? Like after I had Ember, I had to mourn pregnancy because I'm like, man, I'm not going to be able to be pregnant again because we don't want any more babies. And then it was like surrogacy, and I got to be pregnant again, and I loved it. And then now that we've done 2 journeys and we're kind of feeling in our hearts that like, that's it, there's no more, I'm like trying to hold on to any like string of the journey that I can, so that I don't have to just like let it all go and be done completely. It's so hard for me to like close that chapter because it is something that I have so loved, and that I loved being a part of, and loved the opportunity, and loved what my body was able to do, that now letting go of this feels extra hard, because then that's it. It's done. It's over with. That chapter is closed, and I'm not quite sure if I want it to close yet. I don't know. In addition to that, I've been so thankful that my body's been able to produce milk. Like, I'm thankful that my body was able to get pregnant, help grow a child, deliver a child, and now like feed a child. Like, it just is crazy to me. I sent a box of milk off to Milkify to get freeze dried, and they sent it to Kinsey, and she's able to have powdered breast milk that's shelf stable for 3 years for belly bud for anytime she wants it. A little boost of antibiotics, or if she's out and about and she wants that instead of formula, like she has that. And I've set aside a box for a friend who's in the process of adoption and hoping to be placed with a newborn baby. I saved a box because, or saved a little bit because I wanted that milk for just in case for the kiddos, or antibiotics, or rashes, or just like a little boost of immunity of liquid gold. Like, I wanted that. And then I have a few moms locally that I know through friends who can use some, and I want to donate some to a milk bank. I don't know the total yet. I need to add that up, but I think I'm around like 1,600 ounces, which is crazy. It's insane for me. My last journey, I pumped 100 ounces, and that's it. Like, that's all I had. And with RV life and no one needing the milk, I just let my body dry up. But I don't know why. I just don't want to be done. I have loved pumping. It's been so great to have something to do, something to put my time into. And oddly enough, I've enjoyed it. I've loved waking up in the morning and pumping. I don't do it throughout the night, which is awesome. I've had to maybe twice the whole pumping journey, but I love pumping in the morning. I love like pumping while I'm driving and while I'm at a theme park or at the grocery store or like shopping in the mall. I just think it's so empowering that I can literally make food to keep a child alive while I'm living my daily life. Like, it's just so amazing to me, and I think it's helped me just enjoy the process. And I just don't know if I'm ready to like close the door. But it's like, in order to keep my production up, it's gonna take work. And I don't know if I have it in me. I think I'm just so tired with like life right now, with processing everything, still walking through healing, clearly. Surrogacy wise, postpartum wise, I think I'm doing great. I still have emotions and stuff, but Belly Bud's living her best life. I care about her, but I don't care about her. You know what I'm saying? Like, she's not mine anymore. She's not in my care. So I'm very happy with where she's at. So this is for my father's passing, walking through that healing and just healing from postpartum. And I think it's just time. But it's hard to know, like, is it time? Or do I just ramp it all up so that I can keep producing? Is that overboard? I probably shouldn't do that, right? I don't know. I'm gonna chat with Dan, but I just wanted to document this because I did not think that this transition would be this hard. But maybe it's just time and I need to just allow it to happen.
All right, so last we chatted, I was walking through whether or not to keep pumping or to be done. I could tell September hit my milk production hard. Stress, sickness, grieving, mourning, whatever you want to call it, everything all in one just affected me, and I did not keep up with my pumping times. I let longer periods of time go in between, and then I would cut out pumping times, and I just, yeah, before I knew it, my milk production was just really low. All the way to where yesterday was probably my lowest at maybe 5 ounces for the day, and usually I get at least a total of 5 ounces in like a session. Not like at least, but I usually have about 20 ounces for the day. So hitting 5 for a low is really low for me. And it was hard. I still, again, yesterday wrestled. Do I want to be done? Do I want to, it's going to take more work for me to keep pumping or to try to jump start it again? And so do I just take that as a sign? I don't know. I will say this morning I had a phone call with a milk bank foundation, and I had tears in my eyes the entire phone call. It really hit me hard, and I'm now at the point, you can hear that I'm pumping and I want to try to get my production up again, because hearing the heart of this man, and I'll tell you in a second, like just hearing his heart behind why he started this foundation drove me to just want to give more and do more. And I'm like, if my body is able and capable and there's people out there in need, like I want to help. I want to do what I can do to help. And just let me tell you about it. So there's this foundation called Strand, and it's a milk bank. And I talked with the owner, Kyle, and I hope I get all of the details right, because I want to give honor to his story and how they started or why he started it. So in 2016, his sister passed. She had a heart condition, I think at birth, that it didn't affect her until she delivered her son, and she passed away that same day. And they were left with trying to figure out how to feed this newborn baby. He was in the NICU, I believe, which in the NICU, they provide either formula or donated milk. But whenever they brought him home, they had no way to feed him other than formula, and they had others around them that donated like 40 gallons of milk, something so amazing, but it was from strangers that they didn't know. And so he ended up contacting a milk bank, I believe in Texas, and saying, hey, how do we know if this is good milk that was given to us? How do we know we can trust it? And he said, I mean, it's probably pretty smart. He was like, if you wouldn't trust yourself having sex with the person that just gave you that milk, I wouldn't drink the milk, or I wouldn't feed it to the baby. And basically they took the milk, the 40 gallons that was donated, they were gonna like process it and screen it, and then they would give the milk back to him, but they would charge him for it. and he was like flabbergasted at the fact that he had this donated milk and they wouldn't even give it back to him free of charge. And in walking through the journey of trying to feed his nephew, he decided to start this foundation where donors could donate milk and it could feed babies who lost their mother. Who lost their mother at birth. So it started out as that, but then they started taking donor milk and giving it to babies whose moms had breast cancer and who couldn't breastfeed them. And then they found themselves giving donor milk to babies who were adopted, and the parents wanting that to be able to feed their child. And just hearing about how he took such a tragic thing from losing his sister and walking through that to like doing something not only good for his nephew, but for all these other families who tragically lose their wife or their daughters who they need to feed a child, who have adopted and need to find a way to feed the baby, or like women who are walking through breast cancer and needing to feed their children. Like, that is such an amazing thing to hear and to witness someone doing, of taking something so awful but turning it into good. And the legacy that she left and that he started was just so crazy to hear about and so amazing. And in my journey of pumping and having extra milk and finding a home for it, I wanted to find a organization or foundation that I wholeheartedly believed in, that I believed their mission, that the legacy of my surrogacy journey could live on and be a blessing to others. And I'm so thankful that like I took the time to have a phone call with him and just hear more about it, because like some of the stuff he told me was just mind-blowing. He said thus far they've donated 2 million ounces of milk to families in need. They fed babies in every state minus Hawaii, and they focus on providing donor milk or breast milk for babies for the first 60 days. And it is free of charge for who's receiving it. There's no other milk bank in the US, to my knowledge, if I'm repeating this information correctly, that does not charge a fee for the breast milk. Most of the time, milk banks will give it to hospitals. They will sell it to hospitals for a fee. The hospital will sell it to the patient for a fee, and then the insurance company will pay that fee, or someone will pay for it out of pocket. But there's so much transaction that happens that it is like the buying and selling of your breast milk. When our bodies, you know, those of us who can produce, are producing, and like that's just a natural thing for us. It's crazy to know that the milk that someone needs so desperately is you have to pay for. When the tragedy of losing someone, and then you have to like pay, yes, you have to pay formula for the baby, but to have donor breast milk, because he said they focus on doing 2 months of breast milk, which is 60 days, because it shows that 80% of the breast milk benefits you get that in the first 60 days of breastfeeding. So they focus on giving those benefits to the baby for the first 60 days, and then after that they can choose to do formula or whatever, but that gives the parents or whoever's caring for the child 60 days to not have to worry about feeding and caring for this child before they come up with another plan, free of charge. Like, that's mind-blowing, and that's so amazing. They said 80 to 85 of the babies that they donate milk to are moms who have breast cancer. About 2 to 3 babies a year they donate milk to the babies had moms pass away, and the rest are babies who are being fed who were adopted. Those numbers, to know that all those babies are being fed that are in such need, but it's like the care that they're giving, that just like warms my heart. And so then I'm like, okay, well, I'm over here like a lactating woman who had a hard month emotionally, physically, we're all sick, we're like going through a lot. And I'm like, well, dang, why would I not want to keep going? And I'm turning up my pumps right now. Why would I not want to keep going and like keep producing as much as I can and just continue to give back? Obviously, if my body can't do it and I'm tired and my body is ready to be done and I'm like drying up, of course I'm gonna be done. I'm very in tune with my body. I'm thankful that if it's my time to be done, I'm gonna be done. But like, why not continue to give back if I'm able to? And so now, after hearing that phone call and hearing those numbers and knowing, like, hearing stories of these women who adopted, he said 20 to 25% of the milk that's donated to their foundation are from moms who lost their babies at birth. So they're pumping as a way to grieve their loss, to cope with not having a baby, to walk through that transition. And I'm like, that's basically me. Like, I'm a surrogate. No, it's not my baby, but I'm a surrogate who came home without a child to care for, and I am pumping as a way to walk through that transition, to quote unquote cope with the fact that I don't have a baby, even though I know that was gonna happen, whatever. But I'm like, that's me. And I am telling you, that like wrecked me today in a good way. After the phone call, I was like, babe, I'm like, it was so amazing just like hearing from him, hearing his heart. Dan got a chance to talk to him because they both liked hunting. Of course, Dan can make, I say this, I say Dan can make friends with a rock. But like, I don't know, I like was really touched by it. So now here I am. This is my second pumping session of the day. I got more milk already than I did this morning because I'm upping my like expression level. And I'm like, you know what the heck? It's a little bit of, it's not even much inconvenience for my day. I love pumping. I'm weird, I know, I'm sorry. But I'm like a little bit of quote unquote inconvenience for my day, but I can help feed children who lost their moms, or help feed a child who was adopted, or help feed a child whose mom has breast cancer. Like, what? So, thanks for coming to Sam's TED Talk. Sorry this video is so emotional, but if you are a surrogate, if your belly bud does not need the milk, if you are an overproducer and you don't know where to give the milk to, if you just have a freezer stash and you like are looking and searching for a milk bank to donate to, I want to tell you about Third Strand, because that's where my milk's gonna be going from here on out. I told you Kinsey got some. Our friend who is prayerfully waiting for an adoption case, I want to set some aside for them. Heck, I'm gonna tell them to go to Third Strand. I'm gonna like tell them to get on the list now. But I told you I wanted to donate my milk from the rest of it, and I've been talking about donating, and I just want to share from experience like how it is for me going through the process. So I'm going to, if you're looking for a place to donate, basically you go online, you fill out an application to donate. The coolest thing, it just keeps getting better, okay? On the phone call, I was like, oh my gosh, wow, so cool. Like every sentence he was saying, I was just like so excited for it. They are the only milk bank that provides powdered, freeze-dried breast milk to the babies that are in need, to those receiving the donor milk. So I've been sharing with you about Milkify. Milkify partners with them, so Milkify will send you a box for you to put your frozen milk in, like I've showed in my videos. Put your frozen milk in it, label it. You don't do anything. It doesn't cost you shipping or anything. They send you the box, you load it up, you ship it to Milkify. Milkify freeze dries it, ships it to Third Strand, and then Third Strand distributes it from there. So your milk that's like frozen has a way to be powdered. It's shelf stable for babies currently or babies waiting to be placed or waiting on the list, and no other milk bank does that. I just think that's so cool. So if you have some milk that you want to donate, or you are just, like I said, oversupplier, look into Third Strand. They have stories of like testimonials and stuff on their Facebook or on their website of, hopefully I don't get this wrong, I want to say the first mom with breast cancer that they ever donated to is now one of the board members of Third Strand. And clearly you can just see that she was impacted so much that she believes in this foundation, and now she's like working for them. It's a nonprofit. He's like a firefighter and works a weekly job, and this is something he does on the side because he believes wholeheartedly in it, and he saw the impact in his own nephew that he wants to continue giving back. He saw that every other milk bank in the US is money driven and the exchange of money, and he saw that those who were desperately in need of it had to pay for it, and he did not want that. And so I just thought that was amazing. So whenever you fill out the application, and then you don't have to get your blood draw, which you guys know me, I do not like needles, so I'm so happy for that. They ask on the application, are you okay if they contact your doctor? So they do a little bit of extra footwork with like screening it so that they don't have to require the blood draw. So you can call my doctor, you can ask me whatever question you want, just don't stab me with a needle. So I'm all for that. But they have to ensure the milk is safe and that they're able to give it to somebody. So I'm gonna go through the process. I'll continue to take you on this journey. I've already continued to take you on this journey of pumping, and now from getting 5 ounces yesterday to now trying to build my supply back up, I'm gonna take you through the process and how that works, how it works with getting my milk back from Milkify, what it looks like, the freeze-dried process, setting some aside for my friend who's adopting, and now donating to this foundation. So I felt strongly about it in my heart. I want to talk with Dan, but I want to not only donate some finances to them because the owner Kyle, he's like, we run off of 2 things: finances to be able to donate this milk and to be able to like run the day-to-day operations of it, and 2, milk donations. Like, that's it. He's like, we don't give you a t-shirt for donating, we don't give you money for donating, we just let you see the stories of how your milk is making a difference in the lives of so many that need it desperately. And I'm like, by all means, I don't want the t-shirt anyways, I probably wouldn't wear it. I like just hearing his heart. And if you can gain anything from this video, just like through me, it was amazing to hear walking through such tragedy and the good that's coming from it. He loves the Lord. Just hearing his faith was so important to me as well, that I was like, I'm sold. I'm gonna pump for a year and donate to you. Just kidding. But I was like, it just makes me excited. So I'll stop rambling, but the next touch base here, I'm gonna show you here. I'll show you what hopefully I gained a little bit more milk in this than it was yesterday, but I'm gonna walk you through how it was now to not reproduce, but whatever. Okay, I'm gonna cry. Our bodies are freaking amazing. Like, this morning I only pumped at a level 1, I think, and I got like barely any like down here. I just pumped at a level 3, and that's like almost, if it was leveled, almost an ounce of milk. I was literally today gonna throw in the towel. Before I hopped on a call with him, I was gonna be like, you know what, it's done. I'm done. It's my time. I've done my good deed for the year. I've had a baby for someone. No more. I'm done. But I can't. Like, I can't hear those stories and then just stop. And another ounce, like, babies, milk. Oh my gosh. Okay, you're seeing emotional Sam. I'm sorry. Postpartum, 3 months postpartum. But also, I hope you just see that this is like, from the bottom of my heart, he's not paying me to say this. I'm not getting anything from this. This is literally, I'm showing you from my experience where my milk is going, and the fact that my body is stinking amazing and is able to do this, and I want to give back to those who need it. Also, oddly enough, it's fun. I love pumping. It's cool to be able to pump when I'm driving and like when I'm shopping, and I feel like it's the superpower. So if you're out there too and you have this superpower of pumping and you want to donate, I'll put the link in the description. Look up Strand. The owner is amazing. I'm like, I want to like drive out to Texas and just like meet their family and like just, I don't know. So project build Sam's supply back up so that we can keep donating. So I'll take you along on the process, and let's see how maybe my next pump session will be. Maybe these will be full again.